Welcome to Leah Love Juicy Diamonds. I am all about juicy transformation, the nuts and bolts of transformation, the nitty gritty, the thoughts and feelings we hide from others are often the very nuggets that can create the most powerful shifts in our lives. We all want the best even when we don't or won't admit it. Here you will find your sacred, trusted space to listen, to go within, to sit with your special power, your nuggets, and mold them into diamonds. I am Leah Love, your host, and again, I welcome you. Today, I'm going to go in. I feel particularly vulnerable about this, but at the same time, I'm having another aha moment. It's about authenticity. It's about the stories we tell ourselves and the way in which we go about our goals and our dreams. Oftentimes, we want to have success. We want money. We want fame or notoriety or recognition. Whatever it is that we say that we want, we sometimes choose various vehicles that we use to reach our goals. Sometimes that vehicle could be something that we say or we think that we're passionate about. Let's say health, and we want to be famous. And so we say, you know what, I'm good at working out, or I'm good at nutrition, or I'm good at, various diets. And because we're good at that, we say, you know what, I'm going to utilize that vehicle as a means to achieve my ultimate goal, which is to get rich or to have fame or to be noticed. And sometimes we go that route and we push hard and we knock our heads against the wall and we try various coaching and various techniques. We listen to other podcasts or videos on how to do it and how to get the greatest success, and we buy programs to help us tackle social media, and we do all of the things that we think are going to help us to achieve our goal of being rich or famous or being noticed. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes we realize that we're just not having the success that we see others have who are in the same field. And to be honest, I realized something about myself in the past 5-7 years ago when I had another podcast that was about simple living and decluttering your life. And I've had various ventures, online conferences and online classes I did 7 years ago. And while they were very informative, it didn't really take off in the way in which I had hoped. It was not providing the financial wherewithal to really sustain my life and to reach the audience that I wanted it to reach on a mass scale. And yes, there are so many components that go into creating a successful business. And believe me, I'm not discounting or detracting from the various techniques that if you do them in a certain order and in a certain way, that they won't bring success. So I'm sure there were some steps that I was missing. But here I'm speaking about another aspect of it, which is I was listening to an Ed Milet podcast this morning, and the guest that he had on there, it was spot on to what I have been mulling over the past few weeks and realized the one thing that annoyed me the most when I see rich people, very wealthy people, stating that the money is not important. When you come from a background of having had financial troubles, or you just really want to reach certain goals for your family, for your children, You want to be able to leave them a nice nest egg, and you're really working out the finances of your life. Maybe you're struggling with debt and whatnot, and then you see these hyper wealthy people saying that it's not about the money, it's not about the wealth. Well, that really scratches me the wrong way. I know I saw a clip from an article about Rihanna, the singer, and I don't know how many hundreds of millions she's made just in the last year. And, she's really done some great things with her beauty products, and just really awesome to watch her. But that one line that she stated, that, despite her wealth, that it wasn't about the money, that money doesn't matter. And I beg to differ with that, because, come on, I mean, money is the one thing that a lot of people could really use right now to get them out of very bad situations. And a lot of people get less than stellar service, healthcare, etc., due to lack of money. Now, the means to having an abundant life, that's for another podcast. I mean, I understand that there's so much that goes into, our upbringing, our social status, our thinking about wealth, and how that plays out in our life. So I guess I'm talking in circles, but what I really want to say is, in the Ed Milet podcast this morning, the guests were speaking about how, the first 3 years of them doing their blog and whatnot, that they made not a one penny, but they had a passion for their particular subject matter, and their intent was community and bringing people together, and providing valuable content, because that was what they were missing in their own life, and they thought that other people might be missing that. And so creating a community around that subject matter was a passion for them, and the money came later. And I used to hear this all the time. I listened to quite a few podcasts and inspirational channels on YouTube, and follow quite a few people. And I've heard it time and time again. And for some reason, it just never resonated with me. And I wasn't able to tie back that my past to what they were saying, because there was a time in my past, as I mentioned, where I wanted desperately to make the money and to have a following, and to make an impact, but via, a social presence. And I just wasn't able to cross over into true success with that. And now that I have reached a certain point in my life where I'm really looking at my deepest passions and what's really, really important to me, I've reached a lot of goals personally in my life. But I'm looking at passion, and I'm looking at what's the next thing that I want to tackle, and where does my heart really lie. And I do have a lot of interests. I do have a lot of passions. But I think back to my past business endeavors, and I realize I don't want to go that route again for where I'm heading in the future. I really am now focusing on the passion and not the money. And that's a huge transition for me, because I have been a great proponent of prosperity and wealth, and getting people to understand that prosperity is linked to mindset. It's linked to the stories we tell ourselves. It's linked to subconscious programming. And I have been quite fascinated with that, with the law of attraction and abundance and affirmations and mantras for several years now. And I've been able to do quite a bit of work and heal many blockages I had towards wealth and finances, and even my negative ideas about wealthy people. I've been able to alleviate that because I was educated in a certain way, and I had to go within and take accountability for my own thoughts towards wealth and money. But now that I'm looking at my passion, it seems as if my knee-jerk reaction or my autopilot response to where I am now would be, well, I'm just going to do this for the money. I'm just going to do that for the money. I'm just going to create this project for the money. I'm going to do that project for the money. Yes, I would go via the route or use the vehicle of something that interests me. But the true bottom line was about the finances, about getting wealth from it. And that's a breakthrough moment for me. That is an aha moment, and quite a vulnerable moment in the sense that normally you wouldn't want to tell others about this, about yourself. But you know what? I have determined that these juicy diamonds is really a tell-all type of blog or podcast for me. I really don't have anything to hide, and I really enjoy sharing what I can, because I've been quite transparent in so many aspects of my life on my social media pages, and people have been able to share with me how my being transparent in this aspect or that aspect has really allowed them to take a deeper look at themselves. And I've always been so appreciative of the feedback that I get from many beautiful and wonderful women in particular who have been following my path for a few years. And so transparency is not something new to me, but I feel like this podcast is another level of transparency and thinking about how am I going to transition my future direction of energy, so to speak. How will I go into this route? Will it be doing things in the old way, which is I just want to make money. I just want to, survive. That's coming from a level of lack. And I realize that now it's coming from the idea that I need to chase money and chase wealth. And I feel like I'm finally at the stage where I chase my passion now. I chase what feels good and what feels right, and doing for others from a philanthropic point of view. And that's very, very interesting to be able to think about that and think about my life in that way, because it's not as if I am a multimillionaire. It's not as if I don't have financial needs. But I feel like I'm finally getting what many of the people that I follow have been saying. And I kind of nodded my head and glossed over it. But the truth of the matter is, coupled with cleansing your ideas about wealth, cleansing your ideas about your ability to attract wealth or maintain wealth into your own life, you also have the idea that your passion, if you want to utilize your passion for more than just your day job, or if your day job is your passion, then that is completely awesome. But if you have an idea of wanting to start your own business or wanting to have other streams of income, it might be a very curious type of inner project to really look at what if you were to really drill down to what you're most passionate about and take that journey from the point of view of passion, even in the midst of your own financial needs. What would that look like? What would that feel like? And how would that really enhance your life? How would that feed you and nourish you from a spiritual perspective? Because they all keep saying, those who have reached a level of wealth and fame, they've all said that when they finally realized that it was about their passion, it was about their intention, and then once they aligned themselves with their passion and intention, that everything flowed much easier for them, including their finances. In fact, the finances were a byproduct of their passion. Imagine that, right? Well, this has been Leah Love of leahloveonline.com. I am a beautiful mind life coach. I'm a mom, a wife, and I'm actually a grandmother. And life is good. I hope to see you again. And if this was valuable to you in any way, and you think it might be valuable to a girlfriend, a sister, a brother, please do share. Sharing is caring. All right, I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.